Yes, ordinary is the only way out. The reason being that you can easily relate with what is within you, be it spirituality, be it agriculture, be it the system that you can relate easily with is that system that is close to you. What I mean is this: take for instance your name. Let's just take your name for instance. If you call your name or your indigenous name and you ask about that name, go deep into that name and see the reasons why that name was given to you, you will be able to see that it's actually better off than that one that you took from a foreigner. Sometimes somebody answers John without knowing what John actually means, and when you go in search of what John means, you find out that you were just if you are being a fool all the while, you know. John, Matthew, James, and the rest of them. Go and dig deep and find out those names, because they are not actually your indigenous name, and you don't have to care about what they actually mean. You have to care about what your own indigenous name means, and it means a lot to you. You know, maybe you may not like the way it sounds, but obviously it has a lot of meaning that you have to relate with. You know, if you can tell yourself the truth, you can relate with those names and find out that they actually are the things that will guide you through your path in life. You know, somebody, your parents gives you names. Some of those names are out of their experiences in life, and so you don't take those names for granted. Hence, it was out of their experience and those things they felt during your birth. So you don't take them, you have to take them serious, abi. But those names you take from nowhere, they will not help. In fact, mine was a big problem when I started looking for the meaning to my name. Then I was called Anselm, and I looked for that name. I found out that, in fact, before I found out what that name means, I had to first of all spell the spelling I was using earlier when I was going to primary school was actually different from what the name actually was spelled as. You understand? So that was where I had problems. So looking for that name from that spelling I had earlier, I could not find anything. There was no meaning to Anselm. When you spell it this way, it is useless. So I had to find out. I had to search and then search and search, and then I found out that the spelling was wrong. You know, must I go through that to find out the meaning of my name? No, I shouldn't. Is there any reason why I should go through those processes before finding out who I really am? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But to you, it makes sense to you because my baptismal name. It is my baptismal name. So for you, those names means a lot. Hence, that belief, those things you believe in, or probably because the church have taught you to believe that this name is the name of a saint and blah blah blah, you know. But it doesn't make any sense to me. You understand? Because the name may not actually have instant meaning to you, except for the faith that you say you have. But if it is instant meaning, that one that your parents gave you should be the one you should cherish most, because they actually has meaning, and the meaning is visible. You can relate with the meanings, you know. I advise you, stop giving your children those names. If you like, continue selling yourselves out. You know, slavery now is no more about chains. It is now willingly, you now willingly sell your children out to the foreigners. It's unfortunate.